Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the invisible engine that powers the world's most successful companies, their business model. We're going to break down the new playbook that has totally changed how businesses win.
So let's kick things off with a comparison we've all lived through. In the old world, a movie theater creates value with specific showtimes, delivers it inside a physical building, and gets paid with a one-time ticket. Simple enough. But then you have Netflix. It creates value with a gigantic on-demand library, delivers it through an app to you anywhere, anytime, and captures value with a recurring monthly fee. See? Same goal, completely different playbooks.
And that really gets to the heart of it. The old rules just don't apply anymore. The digital revolution didn't just nudge things along. It fundamentally changed the logic of how companies make money. So, what is that logic? What exactly is a business model, anyway?
Well, at its core, this is all we're talking about. It's the grand plan, the entire system for how an organization creates, delivers, and, crucially, captures value. Let's break that down into three super simple parts.
Think of it as the value trinity. It's a sequence that has to work. First, you've got to create something that people actually want or need. Step 2, you have to deliver it to them in a way that makes sense. And finally, step 3, you have to capture some of that value back, which, usually means revenue. Doesn't matter if you're selling coffee or cloud software, if you mess up any one of these three, the whole thing just crumbles.
And this, right here, is where it gets really fascinating. Because digital technology didn't just tweak this little trinity. Oh no! It created entirely new ways to play the game, which has led to a few dominant business models that you see literally everywhere today.
In fact, three main types really run the digital world now. First up, you've got SaaS, software as a service, like Salesforce. They give you ongoing value through software and get that predictable, recurring revenue in return. Then there's the direct subscription model, like Spotify. They give you this massive ocean of choice for a flat monthly fee. And finally, you have the marketplace model, like Amazon, which is brilliant. They don't own the stuff, but they create enormous value and take a nice cut just by connecting buyers and sellers at a massive scale.
Now, the secret sauce, the engine behind so many of these new giants, is something called network effects. Just think about it for a second. If you're the only person on Facebook, it's totally useless, right? But every single person that joins makes the service a little more valuable for everybody else. It creates this powerful, self-reinforcing loop that builds these huge, almost untouchable businesses.
Okay, so if you're running one of these new models, especially one based on recurring payments, the old ways of keeping score just don't cut it. Looking at one-time sales numbers, that's not going to tell you the real story of your company's health. We need a new scoreboard.
And that new scoreboard really boils down to the delicate dance between two key numbers. On one side, you have your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. That's basically every dollar you spend on sales and marketing to get one new customer in the door. And on the other side, you have their lifetime value, or LTV. That's the total amount of money you expect to make from that customer over their entire relationship with you. For a modern, subscription-based business to really work, this is it. This is the magic ratio. Your customer's lifetime value needs to be at least 3 times what it costs you to get them. So if it costs you $100 to sign someone up, they need to be worth at least $300 to you over time. This one ratio right here is basically the heartbeat of a healthy, scalable business.
Now, the biggest threat on this new scoreboard, it's a little word called churn. Churn is just a percentage of customers who cancel their service every month or every year. And it's an absolute silent killer because it directly attacks your lifetime value. High churn makes hitting that crucial 3-to-1 ratio basically impossible. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a giant hole in the bottom.
So how do you build a business that has that healthy ratio from day one? Well, here's the secret. You don't. Instead, smart companies start by launching a minimum viable product, or MVP. The goal isn't to build some perfect, flawless product. Is to get a basic, functional version of your idea out into the real world to see if it actually solves a real problem for real people before you go and spend millions of dollars.
And some of the biggest companies we know today started out exactly like this. Dropbox famously tested its entire concept not with software but with a simple explainer video to see if anyone would even want it. Twitter?
It started as just an internal messaging tool for a podcasting company. The point here is so powerful. You do not need a perfect product to start learning. You just need to start.
The digital revolution has changed how customers perceive and experience value. You either adapt or die. I mean, that really says it all, doesn't it? Understanding these new models isn't just some interesting academic exercise. In the economy we live in today, it is, quite literally, a matter of survival.
So, we've seen the playbook get completely rewritten once, but it's already happening again. Disruptive technologies like AI, blockchain, and automation are getting ready to tear up the pages and start over. The business models of the very near future might look as strange to us now as Netflix would have looked to a movie theater owner back in 1995. Which leaves us with one big question: what will they be?